Yes. Says record, yeah. So when you get into your van, you need to switch your 12 volt systems on. You may have had that similar on your previous vehicle. So that's your master switch 12 volts there. So you need that switched on when you're using your van.
Right.
Okay. Water pump, that switches your water pump on. Master switch for your main lights. Master switch for your dimmable lights, which are the ones above the locker and above the bed. And awning light.
Okay.
Okay. You can see the screen is asleep at the moment. Give it a quick wave and wakes it up. So obviously it's not dazzling you during the night or evening when you don't want it to be. So when you want to see it, just wave at it and it'll light itself up. You can see on the screen at the moment it's showing dimmer level. Yeah. So if it's not showing that and you want to change the dimmer level, you can just scroll up and down on the menu until you see that. If I press the select button, which is the one arrow pointing towards the screen, you'll see the light just above the locker now is up to 100%.
Yep.
If I press it again, so this way you can set it manually. If you've got an app on your phone, which you can talk to it, you can actually dim that up and down on the app as well. So you can see that depending on where you want to set it, you can do it via that. In the centre is showing your voltage for your battery, so it's 14.1, that's going through a charge at the moment, that's why it's showing so high. That L in the little battery there, that's to say you've got a electric battery connected, little flash of electric, so you've got electric connected, then obviously clock or time, yeah.
What would you expect to be showing on the battery if it's healthy and not being charged? 12?
Yeah, you're looking at 12 or slightly just above 12 probably.
Okay.
Alright. So it all depends on where you are. If you're on sites that got electric, you're fine. Obviously if you're on sites that haven't got electric, then you're reliant on that. You're just going to keep an eye on that. Obviously once it drops below a certain level, then it will, obviously things won't start working or stop working. Okay, so you're happy with that bit so far?
Yeah.
Right, so you can scroll up and down on the menu to see all the different things. Heating settings. This control panel will control the heating. That's the heating control panel which actually comes with the system. You can actually control it from the command panel as well, if you really want to, or from the app. System settings, that's where you can set the clock, all the different things as well, and also pair up your phone on Bluetooth to talk to it. Sergeant is the actual system.
Yeah.
Leisure charging, as it says, is charging the leisure battery. It will also pick up on what the actual vehicle battery is doing if it's connected. Solar power, you've got a solar panel on the roof. That's providing, as you can see there, just over 14 volts. Select battery. If your car was still attached on the site, you can actually select the battery from there and draw power off that, but you go and flat the battery on the car, you're in trouble. AC limit. When you connect your electric or connect to the electric on site, if you overdraw that power, so you go and switch too many electrical stuff on, it can trip the bollard. Yeah. So you may have done that in the past perhaps, or you've just been careful. You can actually set a limit. Okay, so again,
air dryers, isn't it? That's the thing that causes it, Pete, isn't it?
Well, I don't.
We don't need it, do we? But, you know.
No, I just walk around, it dries itself. So, where were we? Right. So you can set as low as 5 amp. You going on the continent? They may have some have a bit lower. If you see in the centre of the screen now, that's showing what ampage you're actually using. So we're quite close on the 5 amp now.
Yeah.
You can set that limit all the way up to 16 amp if you wanted to.
Okay.
What that will do, so obviously you go and switch something like a hairdryer on or something, it goes above that limit. It's gone off there now. There you go. There we are, back to there again. So if it goes above that limit, what it will do, if you've got the Aldi heating system on the electric, on the 3 kilowatts, it will actually start shutting that down for that period of time that's on.
Yeah.
As soon as the kettle flicks off, it allows that to come back on again.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what it does. Obviously, if you go and switch a load of electrical stuff on all in one go, obviously you could still do that.
Yeah.
Alright. Internal temperature, you'll see the temperature is slightly different on that screen to that screen. That's because the sensors are in slightly different places.
Yeah.
And we're back down to dimmer level. Okay?
Okay.
So as easy or as complicated as you want to make it, but the basic things are master switch 12 volts. So when you come into your van, you switch it on. So that's your 12 volt switch. Oop, I just switched it off. I've got a feeling the radio's going to come on. So that all the 12 volts off then. So it's all come. The 12 volts are now switched on, but obviously you can see the lights are not. So you need to switch the master light switches on. Right. They are individually switched as well.
Yep.
Okay, so but you need to switch on the master switch before you can switch them on.
Okay.
On individually. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with that bit? Yeah.
That's fine.
Is your own making yet? Is it that little camera? How heavy that gets after a while?
No.
Right. So this side of it, this control panel here, is your heating system. Okay. So there's a boiler sitting in that corner, which heats the hot water tank and it heats the room. So it's like a wet central heating. that circulates around your van. Okay, so that switches the system on. Green light in the button there, I say it's okay. If it goes red, then there's a problem, and it will normally tell you on there. The main one you may see, or the more common one you will see, it says gas failure. That's usually because you haven't turned the gas on, or you haven't got
or
any
you've
gas.
run out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the common one you probably see.
Okay.
So what I'll do, I'm just, because I switched everything off before. So this button here, I'm just increasing the thermostat setting. So you can set that all the way up to 30 degrees if you want to. Hopefully, well, at the moment you can feel like you want the heating on, but right. So that is the room temperature as is at the moment. I've just set that to 22 degrees. So I want it obviously to increase up to that temperature. That little icon there, that's to say the heating is now operating. So that's the circulation pump circulating the heating around the van. When it reaches that set temperature, thermostat will switch that off.
Right.
Okay. Or if I bring it below the room temperature, there we go. So that's come off. So
yeah.
and when obviously the room temperature drops naturally to that, then it will allow it obviously comes back on again to keep it up to that temperature. Yeah. Okay. This little plug in the right hand corner, that's just to say we've got electric connected. Okay. It's not operating as necessarily. You need to select that, but that is just to say we've got electric connected. On the consumer unit down here, you'll see a nice orange button. So if you see that says heat and hot water, if I switch that off, you have a look on your control panel, little plug should have disappeared.
Just gone, yeah?
Yeah. So if that plug's not up there, you're not operating on electric.
Okay.
That is your master switch to switch that on. So that's on. Little plug's on.
Yep.
It's okay. You can operate.
So when that plug's on, then the heating system is working on electric, not gas.
Not necessarily. No. That's just to say you've got electric ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you haven't until you select electric, which is on the next screen, which I'll show you now.
Okay. Yeah.
So press the menu button. So we've gone through the temperature range.
Yeah.
This is your water. So water heating. That's water heating off. To switch it on, press the plus button. Half a triangle coloured in. That's your normal running. That's your normal water heating.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can boost it. So if you press the plus button again, full triangle coloured in, that's called a boost function. So if you want extra hot water, so you're going to use a shower on board, you want that extra hot water, don't switch it on just as you're having a shower, because you obviously you want it to increase before that. So it runs for around about 30 minutes. So you might say 30 minutes before you have a shower, perhaps, or at least 15-20 minutes. Okay, what it will do, it'll run for 30 minutes, then it will gone too far. It will then switch back to normal running, or you can, as I've just done there, switch it back manually if you wanted to. In that period of time, what it will do is switch the heating off. Okay, it will switch the circulation.
Pour all the water to
the so what shower. It will concentrate all the heating on the boiler.
Yeah.
If you had the heating on at the same time, it'll just be taking the heat away from the boiler around the van, and you won't get all the concentration of heat on the boiler.
Okay.
Okay. Next one along. So that's this is to select energy now. So you've got options of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts on the electric, and that one's gas. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So I'll just explain a little bit on that. 2 kilowatts may be efficient enough in the summer. It's probably going to give you a real amount of hot water. If it chills down a bit in the evening, it might give you a bit of warmth in the room. But if you compare that to 2 kilowatts at home, 2 kilowatts of a kettle is heating that much water.
Okay, yeah.
It's not in the kitchen.
No.
So 2 kilowatts is not a huge amount of energy. So in summer it's fine. In the colder months, 2 kilowatts might struggle to heat this big van, and that water tank, which is 10 litres of it'll be cold water when you first start up. So if you operate it on a combination of both, so 2 kilowatts and gas, obviously there's a lot more energy. It's going to be a quicker warm up, and also obviously it's giving you that bit more energy to give you the heat.
So it's not either or, it's
that's operating on both at the moment. Both, So what it will do, so from cold it will use both energies. Gets up to temperature, it'll shut the gas off. It'll tick over on the electric then. Okay, unless someone like myself leaves the door wide open, temperature drops. Use all the hot water, gas will kick back in alongside the electric, takes it back up to temperature, then it'll shut the gas off. So you're not using the gas all the time, but it's giving you the energy to get it up to temperature. When this is all shut up, obviously the insulation on these is really good. Once you get it up to temperature, it will hold that temperature quite easy.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So that's your basics. You're happy with that. So if you want to change, set your thermostat at different temperature, obviously maximum 30.
What's the A mean?
What that is activated function. So what's actually activated at the moment is what's called third party panel. So that allows that to communicate with that, or that to communicate with that.
Okay.
Okay, that's all that is. If that's not switched on, that will not communicate with that.
Right.
Alright, so if you want to operate on the app, that has to be switched on. That's why it's switched on at the
And
moment.
is that a settings button at the bottom? Or?
You've got a further menu,
Yeah.
right, which has got timers. You got a reduced temperature timer and 7-day timer. Prioritisation for the energy. So it's prioritised to electric at the moment. You could prioritise it the other way around, but can't really see the point because you
No.
really want to use the electric first.
Yeah, so it's in that setting. If you've got electric on,
Yeah.
it'll only draw the gas if you're boosting it or...
Yeah, if it really needs it, if
Yeah.
it thinks it needs it, it will. You know, if you're going to try to boost it up temperature over say 4 degrees increase,
Yeah.
then it will
That draws.
draw that up. Okay, so obviously after so long it will revert back to normal running. Anything that's grey is nothing. It's nothing on this model. Clock, you can set the clock. Pac-Man. It might look like Pac-Man, but it isn't. You remember that?
I remember Pac-Man.
You know Pac-Man, yeah. Just going off track a bit, but what that one is, if you've got the clock set and you switch that on, there's obviously with hot water tanks you can get things like Legionnaire's disease,
Yep.
you know, bugs like
Yep.
that. So with that switched on and the clock set, that will automatically come on around about 2 o'clock, and it'll do a water boost function. So it'll concentrate all the heating on the hot water for a period of 30 minutes or whatever, and obviously it increases the temperature in the boiler to go above that to kill them off. Okay, thermostat setting there, so to calibrate it, if you obviously it's not quite right, then you can obviously calibrate it. Mountains, if you're on the continent probably, because there's less likely to be above 1,000 metres in this country.
Right, yeah.
If you run on gas, it may struggle at above 1,000 metres.
Okay.
So you switch that on, it operates a little fan inside which draws more air in to make it more efficient above that height. If you've switched that on, you go below that level, then all it will do is just eat more gas.
Right.
Alright?
Fine.
And then sound, so that one is every time you press the screen it goes beep, obviously that's switched off at the moment. Delayed timer, you can set a timer to come on once a week if you wanted to. So if you say you had it all set up at home,
Yeah.
and plug it into electric, what you could do, what I tend to in the winter, is open all the lockers and for a day I'll just have it warming itself up just to air it out. Okay, that one there, that's to do with the circulation pump for your heating system.
Yeah.
So at the moment it's thermostatically controlled, so it will switch it on and off when it reaches temperature. You can have it on continuous if you wanted to, so it just churns the heat around the van all the time. The only problem with that is it's going to take obviously a lot of heat away from the boiler, so the boiler's not going to quite get the temperature probably. Then the other things we've got, reset, so if you're having problems with the boiler, that will reset it to factory settings. Service button, that will let you know what the temperatures of the boilers are. So if you say you talk to an engineer over the phone, you're having problems, he might ask you to look at that just to see what the temperature he's giving. External, this one had its own system where you could actually talk to it remotely, but that would require an extra box and SIM card. This is already set up to do that anyway. Language, if you want to talk French or German to it, you can do. And then installed accessories, so that's where that third-party panel is connected.
Okay.
There are other optional things on there which obviously not connected at the moment, or not actually part of this vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
That's
give you
good.
enough
Yeah,
information so far.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any more you want to?
Yeah, we'll be watching the film tonight.
Yeah, it might not be on tonight. That's the only thing. It might not be on tonight.
No,
It
Jack.
might- yeah,
Play.
yeah. But YouTube is a very good, obviously, source of information. YouTube
Okay.
on anything on caravans or on anything. But you look for Aldi System. They've got their own video on there, which is about 5 to 7 minutes long, which is not a technical video. It's a straightforward how to use video, which is really good.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah, we tried reading through some of the stuff while
Yeah.
we're sort of waiting for it, but until you can actually sort of see it, it's
Yeah.
hard to
And put
visualise
your-
everything
yeah.
that's in writing.
Exactly.
I think, so.
Yeah, sometimes you look at writing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense compared to actually operating it
Yeah.
and actually using
No,
it.
that's helpful, that.
Just turn it
Good.
off now.
Yeah.